Alright guys, you talk about delivering for the fans, you talk about delivering and making content at all costs. Well, this takes that measure to a whole new extreme, more extreme than Jeff Hardy has ever went. We're out in the fields of Ireland, or Northern Ireland, whatever you call this shithole country that I live in, because I would not pass up an opportunity to rant on AEW. So it's about 3:30 in the morning, I've just got done watching AEW, and you might be thinking, why the fuck are you in the middle of a field reviewing this crap? I mean, why are you reviewing this crap in general? Why am I talking about AEW at all? But more importantly, why are you doing it in a field? Like, what the fuck is this? Don't you have a nice warm house to make a review in? And to be honest with you, I do, but some circumstances absolutely suck, and that means we've been relegated to the field. So there probably is a load of cow shite around here, and that might fit in well with AEW. That pretty much sums up AEW in my opinion, cow shite. But enough bashing AEW, because there's plenty of that to do throughout this video, so let's save some more bashing for the rest of this review. But we kick off the show with the TNT title. Scorpio Sky defends against Wardlow. I do not rate Scorpio Sky. To me, he's just a bland guy, you know, a bland guy that wrestles, no character, no personality. It's good that he's in America's top team, and I do like Dan Lambert, but in my opinion, anybody could be in this Scorpio Sky role. No, I'm not saying that he isn't good in the ring, because he is, but, well, I mean, he's good in the ring if you want to compare him to, like, you know, the AEW style or whatever, but, I mean, most people could do what Scorpio Sky does, so yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of Scorpio Sky. I just don't really get it. Commentary put over, by the way, how Brody Lee was one of the best to ever hold the TNT Championship. Like, they say that as if the TNT Championship's got, like, decades of history, and it's had, like, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of people holding it. I mean, the fact is, the title's been around for a couple of years. I mean, Brody Lee was, like, one of, like, I feel, a rare amount. I mean, there was not many people that held it. The list is not many. It's a small list. So to say Brody Lee was one of the best to ever hold the TNT title doesn't exactly say a lot, in my opinion. And let's be real, I mean, the guy's dead. I don't like speaking bad of the dead, but what I will also not do is overrate the dead. I'm not going to just pretend someone was great because they died. Eddie Guerrero was great before he died and after he died. Brody Lee, in my opinion, was a decent big man with some potential. He didn't really get to live out that potential. Was he great? No, honestly, he wasn't. Was he decent? Yeah. Could he have been good? Maybe. But he wasn't. So, I mean, it's as simple as that. During the match, America top team interfere to try and help Scorpio Sky. Doesn't really matter though, because Wardlow destroys them all. Then he powerbombs Scorpio Sky twice to get the win. I honestly don't think Wardlow's powerbomb looks good. I think it looks kind of weak, if I'm being completely honest. But here, it is what it is. Wardlow wins. I think it's the right decision. Get the belt on Wardlow. Give him a shot with the title, because Scorpio Sky really wasn't doing a lot. Then we get a Moxley promo backstage. Talks about blood and guts. He says blood and guts is like golf on a Sunday for him. He says being world champion isn't for everyone. He says he's world champion every day, even though there's been a lot of days he hasn't been a world champion. And he says step up or get stepped on when referring to Brody King tonight. So, I mean, he's not even really the champion, he's the interim champion. I wouldn't really claim that's been like a world champion. He's basically, it's like a stand-in teacher. It's like somebody standing in for your classroom because the real teacher's off sick, and then they pretend to be like top dog, you know. It doesn't really work that way. We get a Keith Lee promo. I swear to God, before Keith Lee was about to speak, it actually cut off and went back to a commercial. So, I mean, that's how bad Keith Lee is, that they didn't even want him to talk, and I don't blame him. The guy's a monotone bastard, man. The guy says nothing interesting. Speaking of interesting though, we move on to Christian Cage. Christian Cage comes out. He's about to talk, but Matt Hardy interrupts him pretty quickly. Matt comes out and tells Christian that he is the Michael Jordan of being an asshole. So, in terms of being an asshole, Christian Cage is the best of all time. Christian replies to Matt. He tells Matt that he's making his brother sound like the sober one. Matt says he won't stand by and watch Christian take advantage or of anybody, manipulate anybody, because that is what he's doing with Luchasaurus. Christian fires back and says, "You done the exact same thing with Private Party." Matt says he feels bad about it and he won't allow it to happen again. Christian calls him a liar, says that Matt has a huge ego and he's willing to do anything to get his name in the spotlight, even ignoring his brother's even ignoring his brother's troubles and riding the coattails of the screwed up Jeff Hardy. Christian says Matt's loser brother isn't the biggest family disappointment. He is. So Matt Hardy is the big Hardy family disappointment. And you know what? This was a great promo. I really enjoyed this, but it's no surprise, in my opinion, that it involved two WWE ex-guys, two guys that made their career in the WWE, two fucking legends of the business, and there's a reason why this was the best thing on the show and not two AEW originals or two guys from the indies or two guys from Ring of Honor. This stuff was great. If there was more of this, then maybe this would actually be a good show, but unfortunately, Matt Hardy, Christian, they're kind of just treat it as like, throwaway things in AEW, like they're kind of like side chicks, and I don't get it. Christian is just a born heel. This guy is an amazing heel. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad face, but they wasted the first 6, 7, 8 months of this guy's career, honestly, having him teaming up with fucking two dinosaurs and being their manager. What the fuck was that? Give us heel Christian and let him do something good. We then get a Swagger versus Claudio promo backstage. Could not give a shit about it. We get Keith Lee and Swerve versus Butcher and The Blade, sorry. I mean, who gives a fuck about this match other than getting to see Bunny's ass and Bunny's cleavage? That's probably the only thing good about this show. Lee and Swerve win. Hobbs come out along with Starks. They talk about levels and they say that Lee and Swerve are levels below them. Then the Young Bucks come out talking about how they started the company and everybody is sitting at the table eating, feasting on what they provided. I mean, you didn't fucking start the company. I mean, Cody Rhodes started the company. You guys were just fucking... As Christian said, Matt Hardy hangs on to Jeff coattails. That's exactly what the Young Bucks were doing to Cody Rhodes. So, yeah, I mean, Cody Rhodes was the star that started the company. You guys were just two fucking indie bums that do flips and dives and... Meltzer wanks over your poster in his bedroom. That's about as accomplished as you guys are. They talk about the match that these two teams had at the last pay-per-view. They say it was a 4.5 stars match. That's an amazing accomplishment. But then they say that 4.5 stars is what the Young Bucks getting an off night. Again, referencing Dave Meltzer. I mean, fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck the Young Bucks. Fuck this shit. Then we get a the Young Bucks challenge both these teams to a match in 2 weeks, I think it is. It's going to be a triple threat tag team match for the AEW tag team titles. Whoop-de-doo. We'll see what happens there. I mean, I don't like the Young Bucks. I would like to... out of these three, I prefer Hobbs and Starks, but I don't really see them having any chance of winning. I think Starks is actually pretty good. I think Ricky Starks could be decent, but he just feels like mid-card at best in AEW. I'm not saying he'd be treated better in WWE, but yeah, I mean, I would like to see more of Ricky Starks in a higher role. We get a Kingston promo saying absolutely nothing here. Says Jericho made him out to be a liar because he promised he would taste his own blood and he didn't. Jericho then comes up on the Titantron. He's backstage. He says, Eddie Kingston, you're not the only one that can get extreme. And then Jericho, you see, he's standing with all his guys. There's like a limo door open or a Jeep door open. And Ruby Soho's like, it looks like she's been beat up or something. And she's like trying to climb back to her feet. And she's so awkwardly putting her fucking hand in between the door, like where the door would close. She's just like leaving her hand there. And it looks, this looks so fake. She's waiting. And Jericho's like, oh, how do you like this, Kingston? And then Ty Conti slams the door onto Ruby Soho's hand, and this just looks so fucking fake, man. This was terrible. I mean, just get this shit out of here. Everyone marking out, oh, Ruby Riot's been buried in WWE. What's she going to do in AEW? Absolutely fucking nothing. Then we get the Dark Order come out. They cut a promo. This has to be the worst faction of all time. They say, unfortunately, they're here to stay. Brody Lee was overrated. I mean, I've already said it at the start of this video, but yeah, no, the guy wasn't that good. QT Marshall comes out and said he's had enough of this. He's sick of hearing about the Dark Order. He's sick of hearing about -1. QT Marshall says that Lee was a legend, but -1 takes after his mother. He wants a match against a 10-year-old, so we're going to get QT Marshall versus a 10-year-old, I guess. Then, instead of the Dark Order, there's like 6 of them. And by the way, why is Anna Jay, why is a fucking hot smoking chick like this with the Dark Order? Just makes no sense. But instead of the Dark Order defending -1, Adam Page has to come out and defend them. So, I mean, 6 guys against QT Marshall, who loses every single match. 6 against 1 wasn't enough. They actually need Adam Page to come out and help beat up this guy. Like, what a fucking joke that is. Then QT Marshall's beat up in the middle of the ring. -1 says he will wait until he's 18 to pin Marshall. So, yeah, I mean, who cares? Oh, it's long-term booking. Tony Cannon is long-term booking. You know, fucking take your long-term booking and flush it down the toilet, man. That's where it belongs. Absolute garbage. What else did we get? We had Pentagon versus some Ring of Honor guy. Basically 2 bums. Ring of Honor guy wins. Who cares? Gun Club and the Acclaimed versus 4 bums, and the Gun Club wins. Who cares? After the match, Gun Club attack the Acclaimed, they brawl with him. Billy throws his sons off the Acclaimed, and this, I mean, you know, Billy's supposed to be like the old retired guy who's way past his prime, and he's like the manager of his 2 new upcoming, you know, young lion sons, and he literally just threw both his sons around like fucking ragdolls. I mean, Billy Gunn's like a tank, and his sons just got tossed around like they were nothing. It's like Big Show versus Rey Mysterio, for fuck's sake. Couldn't make this up. And then it looks like Billy's about to help the Acclaim up, but he clotheslines Max Caster, then he does the Faymaster on the gay guy. I mean, the gay guy got Billy Gunn, but he was probably wishing he got Chuck's version of Billy Gunn. He didn't get that, though. And then Billy Gunn, you know, raises the hands of his sons. Commentary say blood's thicker than water. Well, I mean, no shit. Is it really, though? I need to tell. I mean, it is slightly, but I mean, I don't know. Some people have thin blood, but here, I'm not here to measure how thick blood is and how thick water is. We then get Marino Safir and the Man Beast, Tyler Rose, aka a man, versus Tony Storm and Rosa Thunder Rosa, whatever the fuck she's called, the Mexican chick. Thunder Rosa wins. Just another tag match that nobody cares about. We get a promo from the black guy who used to be in NXT. He adds someone else to the baddies. Jade Cargill isn't really impressed that he's added someone else to the baddies. She refuses the handshake, so does the other chick in the baddies, so no one wants to shake the new baddie's hand. They both walk off, and then the black guy tries to shake her hand and she doesn't want to shake his hand. So, I mean, what the fuck is this? He says he spent a lot of money bringing her to the baddies, and she doesn't even want to shake his hand. It's like, I mean, what is this? This guy, I mean, this guy was pretty good when he was in NXT, I'm not going to lie. I do like his promos. I think he can talk, definitely, but I just don't really care for the baddies. I don't think it's going anywhere. Then in the main event, we get John Moxley, da-na-na-na-na, whatever the song goes, versus Brody Lee, or was it, no, not Brody, fucking Brody Lee's dead, it was Brody King, Jesus Christ. Match wasn't that good. Moxley ends up getting Brody Lee down, chokes him out with a sleeper, and JR's like, oh, the big man, he's passed out. Boomer Sumer, Slobberknocker. You know, I mean, fuck, who cares? Shit finish, just made the big guy, basically made the big guy pass out. And they said at one part when he had him in the sleeper, John Moxley's belly button's in the air. I mean, what fucking kind of random line in that is? I mean, who gives a fuck where John Moxley's belly button is? And that is how AEW end it, guys. So, I mean, overall, I mean, not a good show. I pretty much enjoyed nothing. The last hour was fucking horrendous, apart from QT Marshall coming out and basically burying -1. That was pretty good. But nah, the start of the show, I mean, the opening match was okay. No DQ between Scorpio Sky and Wardlow. But the Christian promo with Matt Hardy, you know, that was great. So there's no doubt about it. The Christian stuff with Matt Hardy was brilliant. Referencing, you know, Jeff Hardy being a screw-up, being a drunk. I mean, I loved it. Christian Cage, definitely the MVP of the night. So, instant classic, giving us a classic moment on the microphone tonight on AEW, guys. That is it for the review. It's beginning to get a bit cold. I've still got NXT to review, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I'm actually beginning to feel the cold. I'm going to give this AEW. Keep in mind that I really, really enjoyed the Christian thing. The opening match was okay as well. I'll give it a 2 out of 10. I mean, I would give the Christian Matt Hardy thing, I would give that like a fucking solid 8 or something like that. It was really good. But, I mean, the rest of the show just wasn't good enough to bring up the rating. So I'm going to give the show a 2 out of 10, guys. That is it. Just too many jobbers on this show. So much shite. Fake acting is horrendous. And, I mean, that Ruby Soho thing, that was bad. Anyway, guys, that is it. 2 out of 10. Be back for the NXT review. Let us know what you thought down below. I'll catch you in the next video. But until then, give me your rating in the comments. And I'll see you later. Peace.